Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tim J, and I travel small towns, back roads, abandoned houses and buildings. I explore and I travel on this channel. And today I am going to give you guys a recap on my 6-day trip I took. And I will be posting all of those vlogs. I will have for you guys maybe 13, 14 vlogs of this travel. And I already posted the first town that I stopped in on this trip, Somerton, where I explored an abandoned hotel, car wash, an almost abandoned downtown. If y'all haven't seen that vlog already, right now y'all can see that I'm sweating. I am out getting sun. I at least try to get 2 hours of sun on days that I can. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all the vlogs that I post. So the vlogs that you guys about to see, like I said, I already posted one, would be some of South Carolina. I stopped in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it's in the Somerton vlog. So if you watch that vlog all the way through, you will see that I stopped in Somerton on the 4th of July. I hung out with my daughter, the kids, and my son-in-law, and we all had a great time. Now, we left there the next morning and we headed into Virginia. Then we stayed on the road. We didn't do any vlogging in Virginia until we left Washington, D.C. So we stopped into Virginia just at the welcoming place to check it out, and we kept going. And we went into Washington, D.C., where we stayed for a few days, and I did some vlogging. While there, we stayed at the DoubleTree, what sits right in front of the Pentagon. And out of our hotel room, you can see Washington, D.C., and you can literally see the Pentagon was right across the street from us. Now, I thought that was very awesome. So we then explored Washington, D.C., where we checked out the Lincoln Memorial, we checked out the Capitol, we checked out the Supreme Court, the White House. We checked out some of everything while we were there. And I remember the last time I went to Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. was dirty. Like around the White House, like those buildings used to be trash all outside. Bums sleeping everywhere, sleeping in front of the White House. And guess what, guys? That has changed. None of that is allowed. The White House is clean all the way around it. By the way, that area of DC is clean, period. You're not gonna see any trash everywhere unless it's from the tourists who's walking and just throwing their stuff on the ground. But DC now keeps that city very clean. We vlogged all that stuff, and when I tell you guys, you're going to like my DC vlogs because I checked out everything. Now, don't forget, now I did check out going across the bridge. Now, you got one area of DC, that's where the Capitol, that's where all the beautiful stuff is at. Then on the other side, you have where people living in not so good conditions, where the buildings are old and decrepit. Some of them are rotting away, and you still have some decent neighborhoods across that bridge as well. But you also have a lot of what they call the bad areas of DC, and to me, it's like people who are living in those areas who is just trying to survive. So I don't really think it's too bad. I know in every city you're gonna have crime. And why do you have crime? It's because a lot of people are trying to eat. A lot of people are trying to feed their families. You have these young kids and these generations that really don't want to work, so they want to get out and try to make some easy, fast money because they feel they don't have the opportunity to make a great living. And some will say, well, they can go to college, they can do this and they can do that. And a lot of those folks who speak on these type of things are well off, or they make plans for their children when they're young, like college prepay, or they have the income and they take out their 401k. They will take out money out of their home for their kids to go to college, and mainly these are white people. Now you have some black folks and other races who have adopted that system once they learned about it, but mainly it's white folks. So at the same time, criticizing on how other people live and where they live and what's going on with their life, when your life is perfect, it's not a great thing for some people to do, but people do it because they don't have any conscience on what's really going on in these communities. They think everybody have it the way they have it, and no, they don't. Not at least. And then it's harder for a lot of black folks, and black men have it the hardest in the US. And being of other races, they be like, nah, no they don't. Look at me, I'm a successful businessman, right? And it took me a while to build, because at one point you will have companies that don't want to do business with you. DC, like I was saying, you guys, it's a beautiful place, but it has its other areas like any other city that is having issues within it that need to be addressed. And I feel that if that's the capital, all the neighborhoods should be good. And let's talk about the employees that are in DC. I don't want nobody to take this wrong, and I don't want nobody down in my comments to be like, man, blah, 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 blah. No, this is nothing I am making a shot at other people, but for the race of people that runs that city in DC is black people. When it comes to janitary in DC, the buses, any maintenance that are running DC, it's ran by black folks. Black folks are there working their butts off to keep DC striving. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have some white people that are working these jobs and these tourists as well. But what I seen when I was in DC, it was more black people working everything. And you had even kids out in front of the Lincoln Memorial selling ice cream, water. They were hustling through DC to make ends meet. And I'm like, I thought that was awesome, because that's the start of being an entrepreneur. But once we left DC, we headed over into Virginia. We supposed to went to Baltimore, but I decided I'm gonna do Baltimore on a different trip because time was winding and we only had 6 days to do all this. So we headed back into Virginia. To get to West Virginia, you gotta go through Virginia. So we didn't do any vlogging at all in Virginia. We went into West Virginia. And guys, West Virginia has its different look than any other state I have ever been in. It's a different type of place. And you guys are going to see that in these vlogs on how their towns are built, how their houses are built. Like, you have 3 levels. You will have a house in here, here, and here. And you can look down from your balcony and you can see all the other houses going down this hill. That was creepy to me. I'm like, whoa, and this is how they live. But when you go through there, you see a lot of old, decrepit buildings that are rotten, that are decaying. The area looks so old and dense. And then when I walked through some of the downtown areas, or drove through some of the downtown areas, the buildings were so old. So it was very interesting. And then a good part about West Virginia and Virginia, so you're surrounded around mountains, and that is so beautiful. So for a lot of you guys who really never traveled nowhere, y'all be quick to say, well, I want to go out the country, I want to go here, I want to go to Dubai, when United States have some beautiful parts. It's a lot of beautiful cities, a lot of beautiful towns here in the US. You need to get out and travel around your own country first and see what's here. like I said, it's so many beautiful places, especially into those mountains. I have a vlog that I'm also dropping that I drove through the mountains. I drove through the clouds. I had my hand out the window touching the clouds, and the scenery is so beautiful. So guys, I'm telling you now, if you do not travel, travel. If you never went nowhere in the US and you think everything here in your town or your city looks the same, it don't. I also went to, after I came up out of West Virginia, I went into Tennessee. I stopped into Tennessee, but I didn't do any footage or any vlogging into Tennessee. Like I said, I was on a time crunch. So we went through Tennessee and we went back into Virginia. Now, once we went back into Virginia, we went back into those beautiful mountains where we probably was driving through for 2 hours. And once we got out of that, we stopped in Helen, Georgia. Now, Helen, Georgia is another town what's in the Appalachian Mountains, and it is so beautiful. Now, this town, if you've never been to Germany, you will get that feeling while visiting Helen, Georgia. It's a U.S. German town. So I stayed there. We vlogged that place, and when you see that vlog, you're gonna be like, whoa, this place is beautiful. It's different, and I enjoyed myself there while we were there. And then we left. We vlogged some in Georgia, and I went to a town. There, Bartow, Georgia, and I vlogged there. And their downtown there in Bartow, Georgia, is abandoned. Everything there is abandoned. And when you see that vlog, you're gonna be like, the whole downtown is abandoned. The post office is open there, and I think they have a museum what sits by the railroad track, but it's abandoned. So wait till you guys see that vlog. You're gonna like it. And then from there, and we took a route that took us out to 95 on the outskirts of Savannah, and we brought it on into Florida, and we came home. We were out 6 days traveling, and when I say it was a beautiful experience, it was, because I go traveling all the time. Most weekends I am gone. Most weekends I'm in somebody's cities or somebody's towns vlogging every weekend. Some weekends I take off like this one because I just got home, and I got home on Tuesday, and you know I had to go back to my businesses and run them, and today is Saturday, so I decided I am not traveling today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit all those vlogs and get those vlogs ready for you guys so I can post them, so you can enjoy what I seen through my camera for you guys. Now, alright guys, I'm about to get some workout. I know I just came in from that sun for walking for an hour, but hey, I need some workout. So I'm gonna do a little workout, probably a 30-minute workout, and then I'll come back later and do an hour and a half. Like I said, again, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all the vlogs that I post. Now, till next vlog, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys later. Guys, we are in the clouds. We're so high up on the mountain. We're in the clouds. This is not this is not fog. This is the clouds.
This is not okay.
Laughing for